Hey, daily blog number 3. Pretty excited about this. My goal is to hit 100 daily blogs in a row, and I think that's a pretty good starting goal. Yeah. Speaking of goals, I did revisit what I was talking about yesterday in that I wanted to revisit my goals. I stumbled across something again. I rediscovered it, let's say. It's called OKRs, and Objectives and Key Results. And I seriously need to dive more into this because I really think it's gonna help me sort through things. I think I told you a video ago that when I sat down to write my goals, I really just came up with a bunch of feelings. And it's like, what goals I did come up with is like, pay off the house, maybe have a vacation home, get my pilot's license, right? So it's like, okay, these are fine, but I need something that I can work towards and backwards plan. So, that being said, I want to dive more into the OKR. I'm going to do some research on it. I've heard of them once or twice in my professional career. So there's a website called What Matters, and it's something that I've seen associated with OKRs. And there's a guy, John Doerr, and he is I'm assuming the owner, right? The head honcho, the founder of this organization called What Matters. And he worked for a gentleman by the name of, so he worked for a gentleman named Andrew Grove. Worked at Intel. They were all computer developers together, computer engineers. And a lot of companies use these OKRs, and I think this is what I want to use, right? So I can set my big goals, but my daily goals, things I need to work towards that are quantifiable and actionable and measure the right thing. I think this is a good format for me to follow. And I can come up with a list of stuff, like be the best at something, have more of this. But how do you get that, right? So your goals, successful goals make successful people and organizations. But how do you write successful goals? And they need to be measurable and quantifiable. So having the biggest house or having a huge house or big house or whatever is not necessarily good enough goals. So that being said, you need to do some learning. It sounds like these guys. So Andrew Grove was the boss of the gentleman John Doerr from Measure What Matters. And the books that he wrote was titled Measure What Matters. And they worked together. And so many companies have adopted this mindset, the OKR mindset, objective and key result mindset. It's a big thing. It is a big thing. And I think that if it works for Google, it can work for me. Yeah, so back to the idea that goals make the person, make the company. You know, if your goal is to get up tomorrow and run a marathon and you've never trained a day in your life, you're gonna fail. So, and you also don't want to make your biggest goal in life to wake up every morning, and that might be a bad example because you also don't want your goal to be, walk to the refrigerator to get a pop, right, or soda. Those are extreme examples. However, how you write your goal and how you measure your success can make or break your perception of things, can tell you a little bit more about how well you're doing. And I've talked about in another video about running and how when you look at I use my Garmin watch here, that if you measure your run with that and you look and say, wow, it says my 5K run time is pretty bad. But what it doesn't really notice is that I'm constantly pushing a stroller full of kids around when I'm running. So for my age right now, it's pretty slow, but I've got a bit of a hindrance. It also doesn't show the headwind or the weather or how you're feeling. It just shows the distance you run and how quickly you've run it. Same thing with goals. You can set a goal, but how you measure how successful you are with that goal really can shed a lot of light on not only how successful you are, but do you want this, how badly do you want to work for this goal, how hard you need to work for it. And there's always that too far reaching, not reaching enough, and that growth point. So setting goals that cause you to grow and get better, but then also remembering you're going to constantly revisit your goals and set new goals. There is no end, right? So you need to set goals that you can accomplish this quarter, this year, this 5 year, this decade, in your lifetime, because you always need stuff to work towards. Like to think you're gonna do 5 things and be good, like you're gonna implode. We've got to constantly set goals, and I've got to set better goals. And the goals I've set were pretty bad because, as I said, they were just kind of feelings. Like, I know I want to feel, but I cannot tell you what my dream job is. I cannot tell you, I mean, look, I want to start a company. I want to get it good enough. I want to start in IT full time. I'm an IT recruiter at the moment, and I want to get going full time for it because I would love to own a company that helps solve big problems in society. I'm a big proponent of technology. I love computers, and I know that given the right people, the right group of organizations, there's a lot of power, especially with AI and other technology. And there's so many problems that people's emotions get in the way. And I think if we had a little less emotion and a little bit more data and statistics, we could solve a lot more issues, or at least reach a more common ground that would help with consensus, general consensus. So I need to keep working on these goals. I am not ready to publish them or to finalize my goals, and I'm gonna have to revisit them regularly. But I'm setting a goal to have a rough draft of my first round of goals by this Friday, because I need to go through, and I'm gonna try and find this book to read too. Maybe I'll Amazon it today or something, but I really think that this is going to help, because what he's saying is true. The title of the book is self-explanatory. Measure what matters. It kind of goes with taking action now, and there's different types of action. You can overplan, get 10 books, but really you just need to pick a direction to start heading. So I've done that, and now I need to refine it. So this is what I'm going to choose to read to refine my book, and we'll revisit these goals every quarter. One thing I'll remember too, or leave you with, is that goals help you direct your day. And when you're saying, hey, I'm lost, I'm getting sidetracked, what should I be working on today? If you have those goals that you can revisit, you can keep yourself totally occupied and focused. And that's something that I'm missing that I want. So let's get after it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your attention. And as always, I'll catch you on the next one.